We're going back at least 10 years for this one, but it's something I still think about almost every dang day. It was the holiday season, incredibly cold out, and I was walking down the 40th Street, Lowry Street subway station near Queens Boulevard. I can't remember exactly where I was going at the time. I think I was on my way home from work, but I'm not sure if I actually worked a shift or if I just stopped by to pick up in advance, but either way, I'm basically in a world of my own, mulling over my financial troubles as I push through the ticket barrier and find a place to sit. Then, some person gets my attention, but only in that New York way where you don't ever look directly at the thing, you just observe it carefully out of your peripheral vision. This young-looking Latina lady, wearing a blue, white, and gray jacket, was pacing up and down the platform and, muttering to herself. It sounds cynical, I know, but when you grow up in NYC, you learn to live with stuff like that. You learn to just shrug it off and say, "It's none of my business," before moving on. But sometimes you don't get to just look away and pretend it isn't happening because that craziness, those damaged people, they make it your business. So like I said, the Hispanic girl is walking up and down, occasionally sitting down and then getting up again all erratically, and all the while, all the other passengers are just pretending like it's not happening. And then we hear the telltale sign of a train coming down the tunnel. So, just like usual, all the people taking it gradually stand up and make their way towards the edge of the platform. I remember seeing this one dude. He was some older-looking guy, and he's just minding his own business, waiting for the train to roll up. Then, out of nowhere, the girl basically runs up behind the guy and shoves him onto the tracks. The sound the crowd made is something that'll definitely stick with me for the rest of my life. You don't forget real terror like that when you hear it. But the messed up thing is, although they were screaming, no one actually did anything to help. I even remember seeing this flashing light and realizing that some dude was literally just standing there, taking pictures of the guy lying on the tracks as the train got louder and louder, and it got closer and closer. And then, as the screams reached this unbearable peak of horror, the train just rolled over the dude. I remember looking around and seeing the girl that had pushed him bolting up the stairs, trying to get as far away from the scene as she could. People were still screaming, only now some were crying while others followed the pusher up the stairs to either chase her or rushing the payphones to call 911. It all happened so fast I realized that all I'd done is just stand there, open-mouthed, just horrified by the whole thing. And for the longest time I kicked myself for not trying to help the guy. But more than one person has informed me that if I had jumped down to try to help the dude, I probably wouldn't be around to write this. I know the pusher was caught, as I followed the story for a while after, but I can't remember if they were charged with murder or just ended up getting locked up in Bellevue or something, because as sure as eggs is eggs, that girl was Ubats. Taking the subway got real stressful for a long time after, but thankfully, a lot of people were just as scared as I was, and I didn't have to suffer through the anxiety of watching people go too near the edge. They made sure not to all their own. Time went by and hysteria about subway pushers kind of faded, but every so often it still happens. In fact, it happened again just last month. Again, it was a woman from Queens that was arrested. Apparently, she never spoke to the guy she pushed, just picked someone at random and almost killed the guy. Hearing about other pushers just brings all that fear right back to me. One minute you're standing there minding your own business, just waiting for the frickin' subway, and the next, there's nothing. Life can end that suddenly, all because some psycho decided you had to die. Some psycho you never met before in your life. And the fact that people out there exist, and there are a lot of them, that's the thing that scares me the most in the world, and why I never get up for a train before it comes to a complete stop.